Am I the a-hole for going no contact with my niece over her child-free wedding? Throwaway account. Background: my husband is the youngest of 4 siblings, by a lot. And I'm younger than he is. We have been together for 30 years. When we first got together, I was in my early 20s, he was in his mid-20s, and his siblings were in their late 30s. We were always an afterthought. My first Thanksgiving with the family was eating out of Tupperware at his mom's house because his sister had visited with her kids and they had celebrated Thanksgiving the weekend before. They didn't even think to invite us. I spent every holiday playing with or babysitting his nieces because they were closer in age to me than the rest of his siblings. I bought them gifts for every holiday. It was made very clear that the holidays were about the 3 older siblings who had children. Everything revolved around them. If the kids were napping at dinner time, we waited. If the kids were hungry, we ate immediately. It didn't matter if someone had just left to run an errand, we did not wait. It didn't matter if we had other plans, we'd put them aside because my sister-in-law wanted to make a memory baking pies with the kids in the tiny kitchen. When we were married, I made sure to include his nieces. They all had roles in the wedding. I was married on November 1st, so when their mother decided to turn my rehearsal dinner into a costume party, I smiled and kept my mouth shut. My biggest pet peeve is people changing into casual clothes at the reception, and I have never once complained about the children in pajamas and sneakers in my wedding photos. Now these nieces are in their 30s and getting married. We don't see them as much as we used to, but it has always been very important to us that our kids, now 12 and 13, know their cousins. We have pictures of them up, and we even decorated our kids' rooms with the niece's school artwork. We talk about them often. So when my niece decided to get married halfway across the country, we spent a year discussing the wedding and making plans. We received the save the date, which asked for early online RSVPs. I got to the end of the RSVP form, and it made it clear that no children were invited. I was confused. On my niece's side, there are only 3 people under 21, her sister's child, the toddler flower girl, and my 2 kids. My kids would be the only people in her entire family not invited. We checked with my niece to make sure she really meant that her 2 first cousins would be the only family members excluded, and we explained how important it is to us that they know their family. We told her how we talk her up to them, even though she only sees them every other year. She responded, "Ah, that's cute, but we'll have to celebrate another time. My fiancé has 40 local relatives under the age of 18, and we have to draw the line somewhere." I understand that, but I highly doubt her fiancé has 40 first cousins coming in from out of town who would be the only ones in his entire family not invited. So we had our answer. She didn't care. She didn't care enough to warn us ahead of time that our kids wouldn't be invited. She didn't care that my kids aren't toddlers. She didn't care that she has no real relationship with them. We were incredibly hurt, but she made her choice. We told her that we understood her decision, but we were hurt and did not want to continue having a relationship with her if she wasn't interested in a relationship with our kids. And honestly, I also didn't want to see photos and gush over a wedding that her cousins, and, by extension, my husband and I, were excluded from. I'm so hurt that she didn't care enough about us to let us know in advance. I'm hurt that she couldn't even take the time to spell "aw" correctly in her response. We didn't make a big deal about it. We didn't gossip. We simply told her that we were sad and that we were done. And now her mother and sisters have stopped talking to us as well. My husband tried discussing it with his brother, who said, "You have to understand, if anyone has a problem with my kid, they're also going to have a problem with me." We said, "Yes, that's exactly how we feel, but no one seems to understand. Frankly, I don't care if they never talk to me again. As I've said, they always treated me and my husband as second-class citizens. But my husband seems worried. He spent his life chasing after them and trying to get them to like him. Am I the a-hole?